I have misophonia. Misophonia. Okay, a disorder in which certain sounds trigger emotional or physiological responses that some might perceive as unreasonable given the circumstance. All right. So I have misophonia, and my coworker thinks it's funny to eat very loudly next to me, and today I snapped, and I started violently screaming at him in front of a shit ton of customers, and I turned around like, sorry I had to see that, guys. And this lady goes, no, baby, get his nasty ass. Okay, I was following it up until the end there. The customer definitely would not have said that. They'd be like, can I get a waffle? Can I please get a waffle? What is up, my aesthetic boys? It's Fresh, back with another video from r/ThatHappened, the home of grossly exaggerated and outright fabricated storytelling. Let's take a look at some Harry Potter and special relativity-based cringe. Story time! So today I was in Starbucks and gave my name as Hermione Granger because I'm so clever and quirky, and then when they called my drink, a handsome boy was staring at me, and when I was about to ask him why he was staring at me, they called his drink under the name Draco Malfoy, and then he walked by me and said Mudblood, and then gave me his number and winked, and the barista started crying and said 10 points to Gryffindor and Slytherin, and gave us both free pastries. Why do people have to be like this? Look, I like Harry Potter. I'd even say I like Harry Potter a lot. They're some of my favorite books and movies as a kid, but these kinds of fans, the Tumblr hyper fans that make this kind of shit up, they make me want to like Harry Potter less because I don't want to feel associated with them, if that makes any sense. I may not be the best looking guy, I'm prematurely balding, and I'm starting to get a little bit of a gut, but I know how to talk to women. I get more hot chicks than anyone you know. I was at a club and there was this smoking hot girl at the bar, and I guess her boyfriend had just left her and she's crying, so like a cat moving on its prey, I go up to her and say, do you believe in love at first sight? Or should I walk past you again? She starts laughing right away. Then I say, well, here I am. What are your other 2 wishes for the genie? She's laughing so hard, I know I'm in. I say, you do remember me. Oh, that's right. I've only met you in my dreams. That was it. I bought her a drink. Within 10 minutes we were making out. We did the deed about an hour later, and I saw her a couple more times until she saw all of the other women's phone numbers I had on napkins and pieces of paper in a drawer in my kitchen. I guess she thought we were exclusive. This is pretty much a weekly thing for me. It's all a matter of knowing how to talk to women and being confident. I should teach a class. Well, you know, getting more hot chicks than anyone you know is a lot easier to do when you don't actually know anybody, but this feels so exaggerated that it has to be a troll. Like, Reddit has, to be fair, destroyed most of my faith in humanity for sure, but this is just so over the top. It's hard to believe anyone wrote this with even a shred of intended sincerity, but on the off chance that it is real, yes, you should teach a class, and yes, I will take it, because that would make a great video. So there I am. I walk into a purple redacted fair to be told to put a mask on by police unless I'm eating. Barbara has a bowl of lollipops on the countertop. I slowly move towards the bowl of freedom while they check other people. Yeah, mate, I'm eating, see? The whole barber store laughs uncontrollably. 2 police realize masks don't stop the spread of anything as they breathe highly exaggerated sighs of pissed off air through their own masks. Hashtag loophole acquired. That's right. Once the foolish police officers realized the egg was on their face and I only had a little bit on mine, but it was from a breakfast sandwich I ate earlier, they knew the jig was up. They both knelt before me as the barbershop owner handed me the deed to the store while he sobbed tears of joy into my lightly stained overcoat. The laughing of every patron and employee grew to crescendo as the enormity of the situation set in, and slowly everyone's ears started bleeding because they were laughing so loudly. Pulling out a small set of glass vials, I began collecting. Finally, my collection was complete. So, I got my whole class to drink water. I was in my casual Zoom meeting. We had just started and my teacher asked me to say why I was so concerned about everyone's hydration. I gave a long 20-minute improv speech about how they need to drink water. Needless to say, everyone drank 8 casual-sized glasses of water that day. I know, because I put cameras in all of their houses to spy on them. Also, I was already blackmailing my teacher, and that's the only reason why he let me speak for 20 minutes. Oh Lord, we got a post from Parents Against Vaccination. This should be good. So I was out shopping with my 2 children, both unvaccinated, and I overheard a conversation between 2 couples about how foolish anti-vaxxers are. I immediately turned around and joined in by informing them that vaccines are proven to cause autism, cancer, and increase the risk of homosexuality, and that they need to understand what the big pharma companies want: money. They didn't listen and eventually grew aggressive, and they threatened to call security if I didn't leave them alone. My son, who is only 2 by the way, never vaccinated and he's proud, walked up and said, "If they want to die, let the government kill them. It's survival of the fittest after all." They were both silent and had nothing to say. I turned around and saw an old woman observing. She looked at me and just said, "You've raised him well. My husband died of cancer brought on by vaccinations." And she smiled. I smiled back and walked off. I've never been so proud of my boy. Now, while these kinds of Facebook groups are usually infested with trolls, this is alarmingly close to the kind of anti-vax rhetoric you do see a lot. To be fair, these people have real fears. I don't want to make my family sick either. The problem is that these particular fears are born from ignorance, or at the very least, gross naivete. Either way, as another large Facebook group would be happy to point out, that child did not say that. Boss, see you tomorrow. Me. Boss, tomorrow's Saturday. Boss, when I was your age, I used to work 12 hours a day and 7 days a week. That's why I am where I am today. Oh. So, see you tomorrow or see you Monday? Well, when I'll be your age, I want to share happier stories with my team members. So, see you Monday, boss. Then the boss says, "No, Derek, you have a shift tomorrow. If you don't show up for your shift, I'm going to have to fire you. This is serious." I explained as a bedtime story special relativity to my daughter when she was 2. She's 8 now and still talks about mass increase in time dilation. This stuff sticks. Now, as much as parents do like to make shit up about their kids to flex on Facebook, there's probably some truth to this, and there are a couple reasons why at least I think this way. First of all, there are a lot of books that kids can read that talk about this stuff. I know there's some discussion of time relativity in a lot of popular science fiction books. You know, I read Time for the Stars when I was in middle school. That kind of stuff sticks. And also, my dad once explained to me when I was a kid what Bernie Madoff did. You know, what a pyramid scheme is essentially using Oreos. So parents do sometimes talk about this stuff. Is the age the right thing in this story? I don't know, but it's possible. When I was a kid, I sharpened my canine teeth with coins. Fortunately, I didn't do the same again when my adult teeth grew in, but at the same time, it was honestly wicked. I bit this one chick who pulled my hair, and she had to lie to the nurse about her bleeding arm. Wait, why would she lie to the nurse? If some kid bit my arm and they had pointy teeth that I started bleeding that easily, hell yes, I'd be telling the nurse what happened. I'd be like, "That psycho chick just bit me." I love when store owners tell me to put on a mask and I tell them no. They tell me to leave and I say no again. I tell them to call the police on me if it's a problem. My favorite moment is when they pick up the phone and go, "I'm calling," and I reply, "Okay, I'll be standing right here." I claim Psalms 27:9, "Hide not thy face from me," to the cashier, and they put the phone down. I smile and walk out after making my purchase. Start exercising not only your constitutional right, but also using scripture in the real world. It's a dangerous combo. That's right, I quoted the Bible, and the cashier realizes that this religious nut isn't worth her time, and that to avoid any kind of continued conflict, it's better just to ring them up and let them walk out. I told my dad I have a date with a girl, and his first question was, "Does she love the Lord?" And by the Lord, I mean Harry Styles. Bruce is out here asking important questions. I am screaming. While on the face, this does appear to be a Tumblr-esque, either exaggerated or completely made-up tale, complete with the "I'm literally screaming" part. This is a case where I'm actually going to be ridiculously optimistic. Let me paint you a picture. OP is a girl, and she's gay. Her father, Bruce, is a good guy. He was raised in a Catholic household in the Midwest, but he doesn't have a bad bone in his body. When his daughter told him she was gay, it wasn't a problem for Bruce. He wasn't disappointed or mad. How could he be? He loves his daughter more than anything in the world, but this was new territory for him. Bruce hadn't known that many gay people before, and he wanted to make sure that he wouldn't lose his strong bond with his daughter and help her navigate a not as accepting Midwestern town on her journey to being truly herself and happy. Bruce starts taking an interest in his daughter's interests. Instead of casually nodding along to her excited rants while actually paying attention to the football game, he was taking mental notes, remembering everything she said. He knew she liked Twitter, but gosh, he wasn't so good with all the social media stuff, so he had to study up. Tweets, memes, emojis, these were all new to Bruce, but he wanted the best that he could for his daughter. Months of preparation passed, and finally, Bruce had worked up the confidence to put his newfound knowledge to the test. His daughter walks into the living room and tells him that she's got a date with a girl. Bruce knows that this is his time. He feels the sweat beating up on his forehead, his palms clammy, but he pushes aside the nerves and speaks up with only a slight crack in his voice. Does she love the Lord? This was the setup, still pretending to be the Midwestern Christian Bruce. And then he drops the hammer, the culmination of all of his interweb perusals. And by the Lord, I mean Harry Styles. Bruce doesn't entirely know the meaning of what he just said, but to be fair, neither did his daughter. All Bruce knows is that it seems to have made her happy. And that's all he ever really wanted.